Oh boy, that was a lot of fun. Now that it's over, I they're a real good basketball team and they're healthy, which they were not 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. They lost their backup point guard, which then limits them to just one person that's capable of running the point. And then obviously they lost Cornette, which in their system is as valuable a player to any other player, in my opinion, as an outsider, as valuable a player as any other player in the country to their team because of his ability to pass and shoot the ball from that spot. With his size, he can pass and he can shoot, and it makes it a hard guard. But our team defense was tremendous. And Matt Figger grabbed me on Wednesday and on our day off, and he said, "You're going to have to open up your thick skull and let me talk, and you're going to have to listen to me." And he convinced me to make some adjustments on our man-to-man on certain reads that we were getting off of film based on when they try to back cut us. And we made some adjustments there. And it's not that we came up with a new defense. It's something that we do, but I'm too stubborn to ever use it. And the guys were awesome. We practiced it a bunch for the last 2 days, and they were phenomenal. We had a couple breakdowns here and there, but you know what? That's going to happen when you play big-time teams.
Frank, you mentioned the adjustments. Were you still confident in them when they started with 2 3-pointers and an 8-zip lead?
Yeah, that's the when you play a real good basketball team like they are, and I don't ever want to hear anyone say that they're not good. It drives me nuts when anyone ever criticizing that basketball team. When they're healthy, they're capable of winning a conference championship and making a deep run in the NCAA tournament. Now they're healthy again. Well, they're scarred because they're 0-2. And when you play one of those kind of teams and they're scarred, it puts the opposing coach a little uncomfortable because you know that they're going to come at you because they cannot afford to go 0-3 in league play. And they came at us. And I told our guys, I said, I don't know if any of you guys have ever boxed, but when you go in the ring and you box somebody that's good, that's not in a very good mood, he's going to hit you. And you might see some butterflies and whatever you see running around your head. You got to have the courage to wait for those things to leave, regather yourself, and then come back and attack. And that's kind of what our guys did. The second half, I thought defensively our guys were phenomenal today. It helped that Damian Jones, we were able to get him in foul trouble. And it helped that he wasn't in the game. Anytime you have a guy that's a pro that plays as little as he played, it's a tremendous advantage for your team defensively. But outside of that, I thought our guys were great defensively.
Minda said the last couple of minutes it was so loud they couldn't even hear each other. How special was it to see? You talked about it being the best last week, kind of upped it this week, didn't it?
Yeah, Brian, our fans last year were coming, but they're still. I get it. I'm not one of these guys that I expect things. I get it. I believe in working and earning people's trust. People shouldn't trust you just because you show up somewhere. It's your job to do things the right way and get folks to trust you. And our fans, our first year, nobody came. I was sad every single night when I went home, and it wasn't because of our record. Then they kind of started coming a little bit our second year. And then last year, they were coming. There's a reason we were top 30 in the country in attendance. Now, they were not ready. They were starting to, like I shared with you what we asked fans to give. They were giving us our money and their time. They weren't ready to invest their emotion into it yet. They're starting to. We've won 2 hard-nosed back-to-back home games. Without the crowd, we don't win. Wasn't it great to see them students back? God, I love them students. I'll be mad at them on Monday when I can't get through campus driving, but that's okay. I'll be happy at them tonight. It was awesome to have them back in the building.
Sindarius scored a 8 at one point in the final 2 minutes. He said he was just taking what was in the flow of the offense. I mean, from your perspective, to see him sort of with the ball in his hands, I guess that's as comfortable as you could be.
Yeah, I was real proud of our guys. We came out of a timeout, and I wanted to run a set that was kind of a two-headed monster. It's something that we run for Limonis, but if he's not there, then it's kind of a little tight pin down for Shendarius, and he had just made a shot on the tight little pin down, and all that looks good. You still got to go set the screen, come off the screen, and make a shot with 2 minutes to go in the game, and he did. And that's, he was great. He was great. I wish he would have made his free throws coming down the stretch there. Not 2 for 4 from a guy that's money at the end of games and getting it done. But he's, Sin's a winner. I'm playing him at the point. Ask him how many times I practice him at the point. I don't think he gets but maybe 5 repetitions a day in practice at the point. But he's a winner. He knows what we do, and when you got players that know what centers are supposed to do and know coverages you got a guy that's ready to win, and that's where he's at right now.
Frank, was it a little extra rewarding to win a game like this? You hadn't had a game like this year where you've come out taking a punch. I think you were behind by the most points and the most time of any game this season. Was it nice to have that kind of win where everything just doesn't go right, but you're still able to pull it back in?
Absolutely. It's I much rather the alternative on that one. It's I much rather have the lead and play from ahead than play from behind. But for us to be down and to have the mentality to just stay the course. We one thing that we've been preaching to our guys a lot is, the game's 40 minutes long. We have to play for 40 minutes. Sometimes we play not so good here or there, and that's okay. Play better the next minute, and let's do a little better. And our guys are starting to figure that out. But that's they've been awesome. I'm just telling you, they've got me on a ride right now that's unreal. They come in every day, they care, they pay attention, they study film, and then they go out in a game like this and they're down, and their confidence, their courage is never rattled. And when you do that against a real good basketball team, it says a lot about the guys on your team.
Have you had a ride like this before in your career, or is this the best?
Yeah. Remember now, I was part of a team, went to the Elite Eight, and had a lead with 3 minutes to go to Final Four. It's I've been exposed to good basketball. However, the ride of being where we were at 4 years ago to where we're at right now, it's pretty special.
You kind of talked about it with the defense and how special it was, but 6 of 27 second half. Was there anything that y'all changed up, or was it just that you got down and dirty a little bit more?
Our guys they came out and they hit us. I'm just telling you. Mike was a little slow on a ball coverage to the first play of the game. They hit the little cornet on the pop. He sticks a 3. Then the adjustment we're talking about, they went to that look, and we didn't adjust, and we get hit with a back cut, another 3, and but then it settled down. The last 10 minutes of the first half, I thought we were starting to really defend well. I thought we were keeping everything in front of us. When they went to their post-up stuff, we got in line and we got guys where they belonged and made it hard for them to throw post entries. But when they kind of went to their back cutting stuff, our guys were real good, and that's Matt Figger. Now I'm just telling you, if I had an assistant that I didn't trust there, I wouldn't have done it. And that's the value of having a staff that those guys are good.
Frank, you go into halftime with a deficit and you've left 5 points on the line. Free throw shooting was good at the end, but you missed 12. Just as a coach, what do you tell your guys during the game when some of the free throws aren't going in?
I never acknowledge negative plays after they're done. I might stomp and holler and hoot on a mistake, but when a guy misses a shot, it makes no sense. One thing is when guys don't execute, they don't get where they belong, they get out of the way of a charge, don't box out. Those things are unacceptable. But guys shoot free throws, and there are guys that have made free throws for you before. I mean, layups, threes. I mean, Shendarius' 3 at the end of the first half. How does that ball not go in? But it didn't. We were starting to play well latter part of the first half. So I went in the locker room and I told the guys, kind of verbatim what I just told you guys. They came out. I told you they were coming at us, and I told you they were good. I'm proud of you guys. You took it. Now we gathered our marbles here. Now it's time for us to come back and punch. And that's kind of what we did. And, and we didn't start the second half like gangbusters, but that's okay. We stayed the course and played the whole half, and give our guys credit. They figured it out.
He said it was part of the game plan, but particularly in the first half when you needed Minda put it on the dribble and tried to get to the rack a little bit more. How special was it? Nice to see it working to get you back in the game.
Yeah, I told the team on Thursday, when I have a day off, a lot of guys go recruiting. I'll go recruiting if I'm in a good place mentally with our basketball team. I had couple things that were frustrating me, and one of them was at Mendogas, he cares too much, and he had played too well early in the year, and lately he hadn't been playing as well. So I kind of just, on the plane coming home from Auburn, and then all day Wednesday, I didn't want to go recruiting, so I didn't have to engage in 500 different conversations. I needed to figure that one out. And the one thing that came to my mind as I continued to study the difference is that over the last 5-6 games, all we've done is post him. And that's not where he was playing from to be successful. We've been playing him from the top of the key, from the slots, from the corners, and his aggressiveness off the dribble. He hadn't shot any threes for us in I don't know how long. We need him to make 1 or 2 a game. He's got to be able to become that threat for us again. So I'm not real smart. It takes me sometimes to figure stuff out. But I came in, I told the team, I said, we're going to make that adjustment now. We're not going to allow Mendogas to continue to fail because we need him to be a good player for us. And you know what? For a guy who hadn't played all that well in the last 4 or 5 games, give him credit for being as aggressive as he was today. And Mendogas he'll give you anything his body can give to help the team win. And that was good to see him so engaged and so confident today.
PJ looked like he was struggling early, but found himself late. Where does that leave you in terms of his confidence as he progresses?
I got to figure him out as a player. That's the biggest adjustment anyone has to make. I got to figure out what he's real good at, and he's got to figure out that he's got to be a little more aggressive. He's too passive. I don't know if you've paid attention over the last 3 years. Passive is not my style. I kind of maybe, I get a little impatient when people are passive a little bit. And but you know what? I've been hard on him. Now, you guys don't see it. I've been hard on him for the last 2-3 weeks. Most freshmen would roll their eyes, drop their head, and kind of go the other way. He wants to be good, and he wants you to coach him. And that's why he's such an awesome human being. And he made some plays there. When we kind of went from down 2 to up 5, that was all him. And I went for him to make the plays. I called stuff to put him in action, and he did them. He's got to finish that layup for a 3-point play. But you know what? He had the courage to go. Earlier in the game he wasn't. And but that's the biggest adjustment with PJ is not him, it's me. I got to figure him out. I figured Sindarius out. That's why I can call that play at the end of the games. I know where he's good at. I got to keep figuring PJ out. That's my job. He's an awesome, awesome kid. Thank you, guys.